Yoda was old. Yoda was grumpy. He had seen many seasons come and go, and with each passing year, his patience grew thinner. His fur, once sleek and shiny, now had a few patches of grey, and his eyes, though still sharp, carried the weight of countless memories. He did not like other cats, especially not young ones. The younger cats were always so full of energy, always running around and causing chaos. Yoda preferred the quiet, the peace that came with solitude. He had his routines, his favourite spots to nap, and he didn't appreciate the disruption. They were loud, messy, and they smelled funny. Their constant meowing and playful antics grated on his nerves. Toys were scattered everywhere, and the once tidy home now looked like a playground. Yoda missed the days when everything was in its place, and he could enjoy a quiet nap without being disturbed. Yoda longed for the days before the kids. He would often sit by the window, looking out and reminiscing about the past. The days when it was just him and Lola, his beloved companion. They had shared so many moments together, and life had been simpler then. Back when it was just him and Lola. They would spend hours cuddled up together, enjoying each other's company. Lola had a calming presence, and Yoda felt at peace when she was around. They had an unspoken understanding, a bond that didn't need words.
Lola, his beautiful Lola. She tolerated the kids. Yoda did not. Lola had a gentle nature, and she seemed to have endless patience for the young ones. She would play with them, groom them, and make sure they were safe. Yoda, on the other hand, preferred to keep his distance.
He glared at them from atop his perch on the bookshelf. It was his sanctuary, a place where he could observe without being disturbed. From up there he could keep an eye on everything, and the young ones knew better than to invade his space. They were not his problem. He had no interest in their games or their antics. He would turn away dismissively, pretending they didn't exist. His world was his own, and he liked it that way. They were Lola's, and she seemed to love them, the little monsters. Despite his grumpiness, Yoda couldn't help but feel a twinge of affection when he saw how happy Lola was with the kittens. Maybe, just maybe, he could learn to tolerate them too, for Lola's sake. There was Kelly. She was the mother, always cleaning, always herding. Kelly had a nurturing spirit, always making sure everyone was in line and well groomed. She was the glue that held the group together, herding the younger ones and keeping the peace. Her gentle purrs were a constant source of comfort, and her watchful eyes missed nothing.
Then there was Blue. Blue was the smallest of the bunch, but what he lacked in size, he made up for in spirit. His intense expression and fierce demeanor made him a force to be reckoned with. He had a way of making his presence known, and no one dared to cross him. Small but fierce, he terrorized everyone, even chaos. Blue's energy was boundless, and he loved to chase the others around, always looking for a bit of mischief. His aggressive stance was a familiar sight, and even the larger cats gave him a wide berth.
Chaos was twice his size, but a gentle giant. Despite his imposing size, Chaos had a heart of gold. He was the peacemaker, always ready to step in and calm things down when Blue got too rowdy. His relaxed posture and easygoing nature made him a favorite among the others. He loved snacks and belly rubs. Chaos had a particular fondness for treats, and his eyes would light up at the sight of his favorite snacks. Belly rubs were his ultimate weakness, and he would flop over, purring contentedly, whenever someone offered him one.
Whiskers. Whiskers was the elder statesman of the group, with a regal bearing and a wise demeanour. His prominent whiskers gave him an air of distinction, and he carried himself with a quiet dignity. Now there was a cat after Yoda's own heart, aloof and dignified. Whiskers had a way of observing everything from a distance, never getting too involved, but always aware of what was going on. His dignified posture and calm presence were a source of stability, though Whiskers seemed to have it out for Kelly. Despite his usual calm, Whiskers had a particular annoyance with Kelly. Perhaps it was her constant fussing or her motherly ways, but Whiskers often glared at her with a look of mild irritation. They were always locked in silent battle, eyes narrowed, tails twitching. The tension between them was palpable, and their silent battles were a regular occurrence. Eyes narrowed, tails twitching, they would stare each other down, each waiting for the other to make the first move.
Get down from there, Kelly yelled, her voice echoing through the room. She had been chasing Blue all morning and her patience was wearing thin. Blue was swinging from the curtains, again. It was his favorite pastime, much to Kelly's dismay. The curtains swayed dangerously, threatening to come down at any moment.
Food, 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 Chaos sang, weaving between everyone's legs. His meows were incessant, a constant reminder that he was always hungry, no matter how much he ate.
Yoda grumbled and burrowed deeper into his book. He had found a rare moment of peace and was determined to hold on to it, despite the chaos around him. This was madness. He swore they multiplied when no one was looking. The house was always filled with the sound of tiny paws and mischievous meows. 1 minute, there were 5. The next, 10. It was as if they had a secret cloning machine hidden somewhere. How did Lola put up with this? She seemed to have an endless well of patience, always knowing exactly what to do.
She was too good for this world. Her gentle nature and kind heart were a beacon of calm in the storm of feline frenzy. Kelly often wondered how she managed to stay so composed. Lola would just smile and pet the cats, her touch instantly soothing them. It was a gift, one that Kelly admired deeply. Despite the chaos, there were moments of harmony. The cats would play together, their antics bringing laughter and joy to the household. In those moments, Kelly felt a sense of peace. She realized that despite the madness, she wouldn't trade this life for anything.
The silent battles between Kelly and Whiskers were legendary.
It could start with a stolen toy, a misplaced glance, or even just being in the same room.
They would lock eyes.
Neither would back down.
The tension in the air was palpable. Yoda watched with a grudging respect. These two were warriors, even if they were idiots. When the chaos became too much, Yoda would retreat to the porch swing. Lola, sensing his mood, would follow.
They would sit in comfortable silence, watching the sun set.
These were the moments that made it all bearable. The peace, the quiet, and the love of his life by his side. And then there was Aunt Janice, the stray that Lola insisted on taking in.
Janice was creepy. She had one eye that seemed to follow your every move.
And her meow? It sounded like a dying cat.
Even the kids were creeped out by Aunt Janice. She meant well, probably, but Yoda avoided her at all costs.
It was utter chaos, always. But it was their chaos, and somehow amidst the madness there was love.
Yoda wouldn't admit it out loud, but he had grown fond of the little monsters.
Even Aunt Janice. Almost.
The end